Here we have z equals 3x minus 2y divided by 4x plus 7y. You're to find partial derivative delta z by delta x, delta square z by delta x square, delta z by delta y, delta square z by delta y square, delta square z by delta x, delta y, and delta square z by delta y, delta x. Pause the video, write down the question, and do all parts of this question. Okay, good. You finished? Alright. What did you get for them? Let's work it out. Part A first. We want delta z by delta x. So delta z by delta x equal. Well, this is one function divided by another function. So we use the quotient rule. Alright? So we hold the bottom first for x plus 7y times, differentiate the top. Let me just write it. It's not these, delta. Delta by delta x of 3x minus 2y minus, hold the top, 3x minus 2y times, differentiate the bottom, delta by delta x of 4x plus 7y divided by the bottom squared, 4x plus 7y squared. Alright, so let's see how this goes. This is equal to 4x plus 7y times, when you differentiate it with respect to x, we get 3 minus 3x plus 2y times, when you differentiate this with respect to x, we get 4 divided by 4x plus 7y squared. Alright, 4x plus 7y. Let's just multiply it out. Or, well, that could be a bit complicated. Let's keep it as it is for now. Alright? And then what happens after this now? If we multiply inside the bracket by what we have outside. Alright, let's continue down here. We have 3 4s 12x plus 3 7s 21y minus 4 3s 12x plus, oh, minus it. Yeah, it would be minus. Only out the bracket. Minus 4 2s 8y all over 4x plus 7y squared. That's equal to now equal to what? Well, 12x minus 12x, that's gone. 21y minus 8y is what? 21 minus 8 minus 7. So 21 minus 8, 21 minus 1 is 20 minus 7, 13. 13y over 4x plus 7y squared. Alright, so that's what we have for delta z by delta x. That's delta z by delta x, alright? How about b, delta z by delta x squared now? Now, part B, delta square z by delta x squared means we're going to differentiate this with respect to x. So we hold the bottom, 4x plus 7y squared, differentiate the top, or we differentiate, since it's x we're differentiating with respect to, when we differentiate the number 13y, we get 0 minus, hold the top, 13y, differentiate the bottom. Now when you differentiate the bottom, we have a function of a function, right? 4x plus a number r squared. Remember your chain rule is going to be 2 times 4x plus 7y to the power of 2 minus 1. That's it. Differentiate outside function, then the inside function. When you differentiate 4x plus 7y, what do we get? We get 4. Alright? Because we're differentiating with respect to x over the bottom squared. So it's 4x plus 7y to the power of 4 now. As we squared 4x plus 7y squared, alright? So what we have here now is negative 13y times 2 times 4. Right? Now, 2 4 is 8. 13 by 8 is what? 8 3 is 24. Bring down the 4. Carry 2. 8 1 8 9 10. It's 104. Negative 104. Y times 4x plus 7y. So we have that. And then divide that by 4x plus 7y to the power of 4. Now that would cancel down to negative 104y over 4x plus 7y to the power of 3. So that's delta square z by delta x squared. Now what would be delta square z by delta y squared? That one is what? C. No, by delta y. C, we haven't done y yet. We gone to the square and we haven't done the y as yet. C delta z by delta y would be what now? Alright. So hold the bottom, 4x plus 7y. So we hold 4x plus 7y as it is times, differentiate the top. When you differentiate this with respect to y, we get negative 2. So times negative 2 minus, and then hold the top, 3x minus 2y as it is. So we hold 3x minus 2y as it is times, differentiate the bottom with respect to y, that will give us 7. So that would give us 7 divided by the bottom squared is what? The bottom squared would be 4x plus 7y squared. That's 4x plus 7y squared. Alright? So, when you open the bracket, you will have negative 2 by 4. That's negative 8x minus 2 7 14y minus 21x plus 2, 7, 14y all over 4x plus 7y squared. Alright? Equal. Alright. 14y. And negative 14y plus 14y, that's gone. And then negative 8 minus 21 is what? That would be negative 29. Negative 29x over 4x plus 7y squared. So that part is delta z by delta y. Delta z by delta y equals that. So that was part C. What's part D now? The squared. Delta square z by delta y squared. Alright. So that was C. We look at D. Delta square z by delta y squared is equal to, now we hold the bottom, 4x plus 7y squared times, differentiate the top with respect to y, but the top is just a number. Negative 29x is a number. We're treating x as a number. So when you differentiate that number, we get 0. Minus, hold the top, negative 29x times, differentiate the bottom, we get 2 times 4x plus 7y, differentiate the outside function times, differentiate the inside function, with respect to y, we get 7 over, and this would be 4x plus 7y to the fourth. Alright? So, this would be minus negative, it's positive 29x times 2 times 7 times 4x plus 7y is what you would get here, over 4x plus 7y. Oh, 4x plus 7y to the fourth. Alright. So how does this part go? 29 by 2 by 7. Let's see. 29 by 2 by 7 gives you what? 406. So you have 406. And we have x and 4x plus 7y. Oh. 4x plus 7y would just cancel, so it will be 406x divided by 4x plus 7y to the power of 3. So there we have that. You see that? No. The thing is, that was D. Let's find delta square z by delta x delta y. That would be what? E z by delta x by delta y. So E. Alright, part E. Delta square z by delta x delta y. It means the delta by delta x of delta z by delta y, which we did already. So we're going to differentiate with respect to x, delta z by delta y. What was delta z by delta y again? It was this. So we have negative 29x over 4x plus 7y squared. Negative 29x over 4x plus 7y squared. Just double checking, 4x plus 7y, is it? 4x plus 7y squared, right? We're going to find this. So if you differentiate this with respect to x, you hold the bottom, the 4x plus 7y squared as it is, times differentiate the top with respect to x, you get negative 29 minus hold the top, negative 29x time differentiate it with respect to x, you get 2 by 4x plus 7y times 4 all over 4x plus 7y to the power of 4. So what you have here is negative 29 by 4x plus 7y squared. See that part? Minus negative, so that's plus 2 by 4 by 29. What do you get? 2 times 4 times 29 is what? 232. 232 x times 4x plus 7y divided by 4x plus 7y to the fourth. But notice up top here, the 4x plus 7y, you have a square and you have a single one out here. It can be factored out, you know. Right? Can factorize it. 4x plus 7y times negative 29 by 4x plus 7y squared plus 232x over 4x plus 7y to the power of 4. And you cancel down. What you get is 232x minus 29 4x plus 7y. There will be no square here. No, I made a mistake and write back the square. The square would be gone. Right? And that is divided by 4x plus 7y to the 3. Okay? So that's what we have there. And you could multiply out the bracket by the 29 as well. Suppose you find f now. F says delta square z by delta y delta x. So f says delta square z by delta y delta x equal. A while ago we did delta x by delta y. This time we're doing delta y by delta x. This is delta by delta y of delta z by delta x. Now delta y by delta x of delta z by delta x. Where is delta z by delta x again? Delta z by delta x is 13y over 4x plus 7y squared. So that's 13y over 4x plus 7y all squared. Alright. So you find the derivative of this with respect to y. So we're going to differentiate this with respect to y. You hold the bottom, 4x plus 7y squared times differentiate the top. You get 13 minus hold the top, 13y times differentiate the bottom. You get 2 by 4x plus 7y using the chain rule times 4 divided by 4x plus 7y to the power of 4. 4x plus 7y to the power of 4. So what you get here, you can factor out the 4x plus 7y squared, but hold on, it would be this. You had 4x plus 7y squared here. Let me see something. there's a 4x plus 7y squared here. Okay, no problem. Just comparing them from early. Alright, you have 4x plus 7y times, this would be 4x plus 7y by 13 minus, this would now be 13 by 2 by 4. What you get for that? 13 by 2 by 4 is a 104. 104. And that would be 104y. Oh. Okay, that's that. Over 4x plus 7y to the 4th. Now when you cancel out, you get 4x plus 7y times 13 minus 104y divided by 4x plus 7y to the power of 3. Alright, so let's compare them now. Let us, well, to properly compare them, we're going to have to multiply out the brackets of each. This will be 232x minus 29 by 4. 29 times 4 is 116. So it's 116x minus, and then 29 by 7 is 203. 203y over 4x plus 7y cubed. So what you would have here, 232x minus 232x minus 116x, right? 232 minus 116, it gives you 116x minus 203y over 4x plus 7y to the power of 3. Alright, let's simplify this one and see what we get. This is equal to, so 13 times 4 we give us 52x. 52x plus, then we have 13 times 7 was 91y minus 104y. 52x, we get a different x here. We'll have to check back and see where that mistake was made. Over 91y minus 104y equals negative 52x minus 13y over 4x plus 7y cube. 4x plus 7y cube. Alright. Now, let's check it over and see what happens here. Delta z by delta x, hold the bottom times differentiate the top with respect to x minus hold the top times differentiate the bottom with respect to x over the bottom squared. So when you differentiate this with respect to x, we get 3, and that multiplies 4x plus 7y. Alright, minus differentiate 4x plus 7y with respect to x, we get 4, and that multiply, oh my, this minus 2 should be here. No? There should have been a minus 2 here. There is a minus 2 right there, not a plus 2. You see how these simple mistakes can throw you off. There's a minus 2 that should be here. Minus 2y. When you open the bracket, 3 4 is 12 plus 3 7 21y minus 4 3 is 12 and then plus 2 4 is 8y. Will give you 12 minus 12. X is gone. 21 plus 8. 21 plus 8 is what? It's 29. So this would be 29y. This would be 29y. Alright? After that, that means the del square z by del x square is off. We use a 13 instead of 29. So this have been 29y. Alright? And then here it would be 29 by 2 by 4. It was 232y. So this would be 232y instead of 104y. Negative 232y. So this should be negative 232y. Alright. So that was delta z by delta x squared. Now, if we have delta z by delta x, delta z by delta x, this should have been 29 instead of 13. So we have to redo this part. 29. When you differentiate this with respect to y, this 13 would be 29. Notice we hold the bottom, the 4x plus 7y squared times differentiate the top with respect to y, so we have 29 minus hold the top, which would be 29 y times differentiate the bottom. Alright, so when we differentiate the bottom, we have 2 4x plus 7y times, we're differentiating with respect to y, but look here, it's not x we're differentiating with respect to, it's y. So this also, another mistake, this should be 7, not 4, 7. My. So hold the bottom, differentiate the top, no problem, minus hold the top, 29y times differentiate the bottom. This would be 2 times, all of this 4x plus 7y times, we're differentiating with respect to y, so this would be 7. Alright, so when we work this out, we factor out the 4x plus 7y times 4x plus 7y by, this should be 29. This would be 29 minus, and then up top here will be 29 by 2 by 7. You get 406. This would be 406 y. Then here again, this is 29 and 13 minus, and then you have 406y then when you multiply out the bracket, it would be 29 by 4, which would be, so let's just work this part again with the corrected figures. We multiply out the bracket, 4 by 29 would give you 116 x plus 7 by 29 will give you 203y minus 406y over 4x plus 7y cube. So what would happen here now? It would be 116x. Was it 116x we had? Yeah, 116x. And then minus, then 203 minus 406 is what? 203y, 203y over 4x plus 7y cube. So it's 116x minus 203y over 4x plus 7y cube. Yeah, the same thing now. So there were two mistakes there, even though they are simple mistakes, it shows off the answer, right? In an exam, I wouldn't really punish you for that because I would say it's a genuine mistake. It's just that they have written one number instead of another. So here the 13, that have been 29, all right? But sometimes we make mistakes when they there's a lot of work to be done in terms of the maths. But this is what you have there. Where's the original? Right. So we found all of them. All right. So I'll see you in the next video.